Hi, everybody. My name is JulieAnne, and I was the only Al-Anon baby. So Alma embraced Al-Anon in probably like 2010 or 11, and I joined the program in 2012. And I guess I was only a few months in the program before she found me. Found me. I remember I was sharing week after week with in my groups as my life was like systematically falling apart after the aftermath of alcoholism kind of stormed in. My husband was sober for 26 years and he started drinking again, and that was pretty brutal. That did a real brutal thing in my life. So, I was just quietly tearing up about it, and, I needed some help, and not knowing who to ask or what to do, and sometime after I had shared, and we moved on to other people, she just quietly reached over and patted me on the hand, and she reassured me, and she said, "Honey, I'll be your sponsor." And from that day forward, I spent nearly every Sunday afternoon, we'd go to our Al-Anon meeting at noon, and then we'd go over to her house, and I would work my steps, and we just chatted, and we'd watch the Dodgers, and yes, I got shushed a lot if I talked over the game. She was a big Dodger fan, and somebody said something about her being in heaven watching the Dodgers, and I bet she's shushing Jesus too, let me tell you, because she didn't like you talking over her game. But it was really cute. It was really precious. But she did call her sponsees her babies, and for several years I knew I was her only Al-Anon baby, but I didn't really give much thought to that. And one day she told me, she said, she said, you're the only person I've ever hand selected to be a baby. And she said everyone had to ask. That was the rule. And I thought, while that sounds like a grand compliment, it's like that's hardly the case. After a couple of years of thinking I was special, I said, like, what made me so different? I mean, wouldn't you want to know? It's kind of like, wouldn't you be a little curious about what made you so special? And she said, just so matter of fact, she said, "Sweet pea, you were just so pitiful. I couldn't stand it any longer." She said, "I had to help you out of that pit. I just knew you would have just died down in there." And, she was right. She was absolutely right. But then again, it's like when it comes to a lot of these things, she usually is. But sometime later, I asked Alma why she didn't have any other Al-Anon babies, and she just said with like her playful exhaustion, she was really funny, and she said, "Oh, you were such a handful. I just don't think I had room for any more." And so we giggled, but we always giggled. She was really funny. She just had a funny way of just one little line thing, and she was really funny. But I think the most powerful thing that Alma ever did for me was making me go to open AA meetings. And because, like I was explaining, alcoholism kind of came out of nowhere for me, and did a major sideswipe in my life, and it destroyed it. And I didn't understand it, and I kept thinking it was my fault. And she couldn't quite shake me out of that mentality. So she made me go to one open AA meeting every single day for a year. I thought, and I had to do that on top of my Al-Anon regimens as well. So I had a lot of meetings for a long time. And she said, you'll hear what you need to hear in there. And I did. I really, and not only that, but it's, I have so many wonderful friends in the program, and the people that I share my holidays with, and people who understand my story like nobody else on the outside of this disease can understand. And because I can say things to you guys, and you know exactly where I'm coming from, where other people will try to give me some other thing that they don't understand it, so it doesn't work. But, I would have been happy to share her with other Al-Anons. But being her only Al-Anon made me feel it just made me feel extra special. And it made me feel like I had a special place in her heart.